Orochi X10. These things are pretty sweet, and I haven't seen anybody bending them yet online, so we thought it'd be time to get one of them out, bend them for you on the wall, and start showing out some of the unique action models anyway. Try and get through every single one as fast as we can, but they are selling faster than we're kind of keeping them around. So if there's any gaps in it, it's because they sold out. Apologize, wait till we get more. Pretty beautiful stuff here from Megabass as usual. Biggest surprise for me was something I was warned about from the Megabass people on the front half, so it wasn't that shocking to me, but it has been to some of the people here as they come in. The blanks are a little bit thicker in diameter than you would expect to see for a Megabass rod and what would be perceived as graphite models. This is organic fibers. It's a totally new organic fiber that the rod's made of. This is, to Megabass's knowledge and to my knowledge, this is the first rod made out of all organic materials. So there's no plastics or resins that were cooked up to make the material to make the blank. This is all organic material. So renewable stuff that should make the rod much friendlier to our environment to manufacture. And it's nice to see a manufacturer like Megabass that relies on quality of our outdoor spaces, caring about that kind of stuff and making a rod out of materials that is less damaging to our environment. How does it perform though? That's even more important to us meathead fishermen, isn't it? How is this rod's gonna feel and perform? And so far, I've been very impressed. It's exactly what I was kind of warned about. Visually, you look at it and think it doesn't look as thin or as small as a blank material, but in hand, they do feel alive and they do feel a little different, to me anyway. It's subtle, but I do feel like the material is different than traditional graphite. They feel a little softer, if that makes any sense. The deflection feels a little softer, but they do feel light and alive. They do. They don't feel like they're glass by any means or anything like that. Pretty interesting stuff. This particular model here is the 611 Medusa. This is a light power rod with a stinger tip. That's right, my new favorite topic of late, the old stinger tip. We're very familiar with these type of tips here in the North Country because of ice fishing. I've talked about that a lot on a lot of these forward-facing sonar rods we have here of late. That has been the popular rod type for forward-facing sonar in Japan for a little while, and I get it. It makes a lot of sense. You can dance a bait around or keep a bait in a target area, moving it ever so slightly if you're shaking the rod or anything like that, and just using that very little bit of tip. But if you want to move some line and get a hook in a fish from far away without having a really long rod, these are the deal, right? Think about it. I can take a 6'8", 6'11", shorter rod by most of our standards today and set the hook 60, 80, 100 feet away from the boat and just swinging the rod a foot because that tip shuts off so fast. And this is light power, so it doesn't deter you from using super, super light line. Pretty cool stuff here. I knew this would be one of the more popular rods in the lineup right away, so we wanted to bend this one because a lot of people right now are looking for stinger tip rods to deploy a lot of their forward-facing techniques. Let's go bend the new Megabass Orochi X10 Medusa. Okay, I'm back here with the 611 Medusa. Just weighed it 4 ounces, and I'll tell you, that was a surprise. I thought this rod was gonna be like in that 3.5 ounce range. Let's go ahead and bend this one here. All right. It does load up really, really fast. It's hard to see here how the stinger tip with line on it is performing, but I am barely imparting 1/4 inch of lift on this thing, and you can see how the tip dances around out there on the very end. Very impressive stuff with these stinger tips. It doesn't look as visually impressive with, unless you're just bending it in hand, but I kid you not, I'm getting backbone and pressure with the slightest little lift here. So crazy light little tip that does incredible things out there for shaking or pinging your minnow with a little ball head jig, but being able to set the hook from far away and get into that lighter power full backbone there of the rod where I don't have to worry about busting off like a 8-pound braid to 6-pound leader, even lighter leader material that a lot of people are using now. We're seeing people deploy a lot of 5 and 4-pound tests for these techniques. This is a rod you could do that and confidently fight a fish with lighter drag settings and not worry about it, but it's got that kind of cool action that it's not limiting you as like a finesse only, like super finesse rod. I'd be more than comfortable fishing 12-pound test on this and a wacky jig or something like that and crack on them around some grass. It's not a wimpy rod by any means, but it does give you that insane finesse capabilities of that stinger tip. Really cool rod from Megabass. Check out the Orochi X10 series on omniafishing.com now.